Today's movie is a good one. Oh, it's so good because it's so bad. It is Razor Sharpe from 2003. I picked this up several years ago, and ever since then, it's been one of my favorite terrible movies. It stars Troy Ashford. It was directed by Troy Ashford, based on a story by Troy Ashford, and the producer was Troy Ashford. So clearly, this is one dude's vanity project. And as far as that goes, it's not terrible. On IMDb, it says that he has made another movie, but I can't find any evidence that it's ever actually released. So, Razor Sharpe, what's it about? Well, Troy Ashford is our star, and he plays a struggling actor. And he gets kicked off of a movie for outdoing the star of the movie. He's so good, he makes the star look bad. And for some reason, the star of the movie hates him so much that he decides to set up our star, Justin Sharpe. So what he does is he has his girlfriend tell him, hey, I feel bad about what happened. Here's a phone number. These guys are doing some real guerrilla filmmaking. Probably won't pay you anything, but it's a start. So he gets in contact with these guys that are doing guerrilla filmmaking. And they tell him, this is real on the spot, no permits or anything. Just go in there and sort of improvise. We want the natural feel. So our star gets duped into doing this. He's like, go around the corner and just pretend to beat these guys up. Just go real tough. They're pros. They can take it. And steal the suitcase from him. So he goes around the corner. He's like, beats up the guy, ends up doing what he thinks is probably, a gun filled with blanks, shoots two of the three people, takes the suitcase and leaves. Shocking surprise. It wasn't staged. They weren't actors. This dude has just killed two people. And he didn't seem to notice that the gun was real, was loaded with real bullets, and that these people were actually bleeding and dying. Now, to be fair, the movie is so bad they couldn't actually afford squibs, so they weren't actually bleeding. Well, it turns out that the movie star set him up to rob from the mafia guy and framed him. So in the suitcase was a bunch of drug money or something. And now the mafia guy's after him, our hero, Mr. Sharpe. And he has to get his revenge and figure out who set him up and get away from the mafia guys. And at the same time, the police are investigating the case. And because, to at least to the bad guy's credit a little bit, they actually did videotape this. There's a videotape proving that our hero actually was the one that committed these crimes. So he has to try and get away because they're trying to use that for blackmail. So this movie is amazing in its terribleness. Not only is the guy who created it made himself out to look really dumb for not being able to tell that he was actually robbing people, but it's not made really great. There's at least one scene where his shirt changes. It looks like it was cold because there's a scene, he has a t-shirt on, then they cut away, then they cut back and he's got like something over himself, over the t-shirt, and you can see his breast, so it's probably cold the day they did pickups. Then they cut away, then they cut back and he's got the overshirt gone. He's just got the t-shirt again.
Danny, you okay?
Oh, I assure you she's quite fine. Not as good as she used to be, but then again, her taste used to be better as well. Did you bring my money? I thought this might happen. So I invited some friends of mine along to act as impersonal arbitrators. Hey!
There's also a scene where I think you can see the cameraman in the background There's another scene where when the mic keeps ducking into the scene.
I want you to know I thought you were great out there.
With who, the waiter?
No, on the set. I'm no expert, but you did some things out there I hadn't seen before.
Well, I'm sure being around Rick Cooper, you've seen plenty.
Yeah, plenty that's better left unseen.
Sorry?
Forget it.
And it's just to show you how much of a vanity project this is. The movie actually starts with a quote, and then it says dot dash dash Troy Ashford. So he starts the movie with this inspirational quote from himself. Amazing. Now, the fight scenes are actually pretty decent. This dude actually has some talent, and it is kind of a shame that he apparently hasn't done much else acting-wise. His strengths obviously don't lie in writing or directing. And there are some times when there's so many fights in it that it starts off with him just fighting guys, and then eventually, I'm guessing he ran out of friends at his local martial arts studio to help. So suddenly the bad guys start having masks on. And one point, the bad guys that attack him have like training pads and stuff. And I'm like, why would you wear the training pads if you were going to beat up somebody? The movie is just amazing in its terribleness. And like I said, the fights are pretty good though. So if you can find Razor Sharpe, you love bad movies, find this one. I'm giving this 5 thumbs up. The budget is low, and so is the production. But the action's sharp.